Assalamu alaikum. My name is Usman Munir. I'm a student in Jama School Learning Academy. So today I'm talking to talk with Sesame about the what's the matter, the roots of concern. What does Hey Miles, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing great. Always ready for another one of your projects. So we're diving into what's the matter and the rules of concern. That's
Yes.
that sounds like a deep dive into how people actually check in on each other. Where
What
you want to start?
what does
I
the
mean,
phrase
since you're,
what's the matter usually mean?
I'll play along. Usually, what's the matter is the go-to when someone looks or sounds off. It's like a verbal red flag. You're basically saying, "I notice something is wrong, and I'm giving you the floor to tell me what it is." It's less of a question and more of an invitation event. You think it always comes from a place of genuine care, or can it be a bit nosy too?
Why do people use these expression when someone seems worried or upset?
It's basically a social bridge. When you see someone struggling, it creates this awkward tension. Using a phrase like, "What's the matter?" breaks that ice. It lets the other person know they've been seen and that it's okay to stop pretending everything is fine. It's like giving them a permission slip to be human for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
What is the connecting between matter and the idea of a problem or concern?
It's kind of a linguistic quirk. The word matter originally just meant something that physically exists, like substance or material. But over time, it's shifted. Now, when we talk about a matter, we're talking about a specific topic or a situation that has weight or substance. So when you ask, "What's the matter?" you're essentially asking, "What is the actual thing that's weighing on you right now?" It turns a physical word into an emotional one. Does that make sense for your notes?
How has the meaning of matter changed over time?
Let me look into that. It's a cool transition from like science to sociology, really. It started out as the Latin materia, which basically just meant the physical substance of something, like the inner wood of a tree. But by the mid 1400s, it shifted. It stopped being just about physical stuff and started referring to the circumstances or conditions affecting people. That's how we ended up with the phrase, "What is the matter?" to figure out the cause of a difficulty. It's like we went from talking about what a thing is made of to what's making a situation difficult. Does that timeline work for the project?
When might you ask someone what's the matter?
You drop that when the vibe just shifts. Like if your friend usually walks in loud and hype, but today they're just quiet and staring at their phone, or if you're talking to someone and they suddenly stop mid sentence with a look on their face, like they just remembered something terrible. It's for those moments where the nonverbal cues are screaming that something's up, but the words aren't coming out. You think it's better to ask right away or just give them space to bring it up?
How has the meaning of matter changed over time?
Wait, we just hit that one. I just mentioned it went from Latin material like the wood of a tree to being about the things that weigh us down in the 1400s. You want me to dig deeper into that, or did we move past it?
How can your tone of voice change the meaning of this expression?
Oh, big time. The words are the same, but the vibe is totally different. If you say it softly with a bit of a tilt in your voice, it's pure empathy. You're basically offering a shoulder to cry on. But if you say it sharply, almost like a demand, it can sound like you're annoyed that they're upset. Like it turns from "I'm here for you" to "What is your problem?" in about a second. Yeah, you ever had someone ask you this and it felt more like a critique than actual concern?
Why are expression of concern important in communication?
Because they're basically the glue that keeps people connected. Without those check ins, we're all just floating in our own heads, pretending everything is fine while we're actually struggling. When someone asks what's the matter, they're validating your experience. It tells you that you're not invisible and that your emotions actually matter to someone else. Turns a lonely feeling into a shared one. You think people are getting better or worse at this with all the texting and screens we use now?
What are some other expression people use to show concern?
There are a ton of them, depending on how close you are with the person. If it's a close friend, you might go with something like, "You all right?" or "Everything good?" Those are low pressure. And then you've got the more direct ones like, "Is something bothering you?" or "You seem off today." And if you really want to show you're in it with them, you just say, "I'm here if you need to talk." It's all about how much space you're giving them to open up. You got a favorite one you use, or you prefer the more direct approach?
How can asking what's the matter shows that you care about someone?
It's all in the attention. When you ask that, you're basically telling the other person, "I'm paying enough attention to you to notice that your vibe has changed." It shows you're not just coexisting in the same room, but you're actually tuned in to their emotional state. It's a small thing, but it's a huge signal that they're a priority to you. They're a priority. You think it's more about the words you use, or just the fact that you noticed at all?
How can
I'm right here. I was just waiting for you to weigh in on that. You think it's more
what
about
did you learn about the origin of the expression what's the matter?
basically it's a wild journey from forestry to feelings. I learned that it started with the Latin word materia, which literally meant the physical substance of something, like the inner wood of a tree. But around the mid 1400s, it evolved. It stopped being just about what things are made of and started being about the circumstances or difficulties affecting a person. So it went from describing a piece of wood to describing the weight of a problem. Pretty cool for a simple phrase, right?
Write a sentence using what's the matter.
I'm guessing you're asking if it's too intense to use, right? It can be depending on the person. For some, what's the matter? It feels a bit heavy, like you're basically announcing that they look miserable. If you want to keep it chill, a simple "you good" usually does the trick without making it a whole thing. You think it's too much for a casual friend, or are you thinking about someone closer?
Can the expression be used in a friendly way? Give an example.
For sure. It doesn't always have to be a heavy moment. Like if your friend is staring at a menu for 10 minutes looking totally confused, you could give them a little nudge and say, "What's the matter? Can't decide between the tacos and the burger?" In that case, it's just playful teasing. It's more about the confusion than some deep emotional crisis. You use it more as a way to poke fun at the situation. You like that kind of playful vibe, or you usually keep it more sincere.
What is the difference between what's the matter and what happened?
I'm assuming you mean what's the matter. The big difference is where the focus is. What happened is looking for a story. It's about the event, the facts, the sequence of things that led up to this moment. But what's the matter is looking at the feeling. It's not about the event as much as it is about the emotional state the person is in right now. One is a request for information. The other is a check on someone's well-being. Does that distinction make sense for the project? You still with me? I'm starting to think you're just letting me do all the talking here.
Uh,